Hello, everybody. We are now at the point in our memoirs where you, the writers, the authors of this essay, need to be able to figure out what you have and what you still need to create or revise or alter or improve in order to get to your final product. So, part of a really big part, a really big and important part of the writing process is this last step, which is usually called something like self-evaluation or the readers or authors evaluation or something like that. We're going to call it self-evaluation, which just makes it really clear what you're going to be doing. The writing process, starts off with the ideas and the outline, and then the first paragraph, and then the draft and revisions and so on. But at some point, you as students have to get to a point where you have a good sense for when you've gotten close to what the assignment is asking for, and when you still have a ways to go, and you have to have some sense for where that separation is. So if the assignment is asking for a clear thesis statement, like in this case, a thesis statement about what exactly is the significance of your memoir moment, then you need to be able to know whether you have a good, clear thesis that does that, or whether you're having trouble coming up with a good one that you feel good about or that captures the right significance and that sort of thing. You don't have to always have it just right, of course, right? That's not what I'm saying. You just have to know when you're having trouble with certain parts, because that way you can ask for help and you can get the help, and then you can improve those things, right? And then you're okay. The difficulty with a lot of this stuff is when you do what a lot of students tend to do, which is sort of rely on the instructor to always point out everything. And what that does is sort of prevents you from taking that last step yourself as the writer, which is you spending the time to figure out and using your judgment and developing your judgment for knowing what you need to focus on. So anyway, that's where we're at now. It's a good point in the semester and in this essay for you to spend some time, with help, of course, from me, but some time yourself analyzing your writing and figuring out where you need additional help. So your assignment for this week is pretty straightforward. And the good part is it's not a lot of writing, which I think you'll prefer, right? I'm going to give you this worksheet, and it's kind of like the one we did with the argumentative essay. It's very similar. It's the same kind of idea, right? Where you have your writing, and then you have this worksheet with just 5 questions on here that will point you to the right places in your writing so that you can ask yourself, do I have this? Or am I unsure whether I have this or not? So what I want you to do is check out this worksheet on Blackboard and then go through it and do what it asks. It's very simple. It just says circle your thesis statement, put a star next to each main point, each main topic that supports your thesis, and so on. And the idea is that if you can't do this, if you're looking and looking and you can't find a thesis statement anywhere to circle, then you have a problem, right? Then you know what you're missing, and you know what you're going to need help with. So this is the first step, and I want you to do this, and you can do it in whatever way you want. You're not going to give this to me. I'm not going to see this. So you don't have to worry about figuring out how to do it electronically or anything like that. This is just for you. Go through it and get a sense for where you're at. Then the second step is that based on what you find when you do this, I want you to decide for yourselves what you need help with and what specifically you need to ask me to get the help that you need. So in other words, I want you to determine what questions you need to ask, if any questions, and then I want you to actually write down the questions and ask me by email. And of course, I'll read these and answer them, and then you can go back to your writing and work on it in exactly those ways. So that's what we're going to do for this week. Now, the trick to this is that you need to be as specific as possible, and it has to be very, very localized questions that is very focused on a particular thing, and you have to give me an example. So here's what I mean. You want to say, I tried to circle my thesis statement, but I wasn't sure if I had a clear thesis statement. I have this statement, which you would then show me, and you'd say, I think this is a way to show the significance of my memoir moment, but I'm not sure if that's what it's saying or not. Can you tell me if this statement captures my thesis? And I can say yes or no, or it's almost there, but it needs to be, say more specifically, this or that. So what you would do is you would ask a very specific question and then show me the example. What you don't want to do is ask a general question like, is my introduction good? Or do I have good supporting paragraphs? Or things that aren't really all that important at all, like, is this long enough? And the one I really want you to avoid is anything to do with the conclusion at the moment. Because it just doesn't matter that much here, right? I mean, again, the focus of this needs to be on the introductory section and then all of the supporting paragraphs. And if you do all that well, then you've got a great essay. So don't sweat the concluding section to this. What else can I give you? Oh, you might think about your descriptive words. I'm just looking at the worksheet to see what it asks you. It asks you to underline each instance of a sensory descriptive word. Sensory descriptive words are things that you can touch, see, hear, smell, taste, and so on. Are you describing those things? If not, then you want to think about how you can do that to sort of bring the details of the memoir to life. Without those, then you're probably just telling well, you're definitely telling a less descriptive story. And these are really better to the extent that they are more descriptive in that way. So you might check in a couple of words, like here's a sentence that I think is using sensory descriptive words. Is this, are these the right kinds of words that bring my story to life in the right sort of detail? That would be a good question, right? And of course you show me the words so I can see what you're talking about. Okay, that's really it. If you think that you don't have any questions, then you don't have to send me anything. I would be surprised if you went through this worksheet and found that everything was perfectly in order. But maybe, I mean, there's no requirement that you have to find something to be unsure about. Maybe you feel good, and maybe you recognize that there are some things to work on, but you can do it yourself. That's okay, actually. But I want you to ask yourself, like, you know, do you have all of these things, and are you comfortable improving them on your own? And if not, I do want you to think about what questions you need to have answered, and then send me those questions by email, and I'll respond to you as they come in, and then you'll go back in and work on those. And so, let's see. So this is, this is the week of Thanksgiving, right? Today is Monday. Thanksgiving is Thursday this week. So this is just a short assignment. It shouldn't take very long at all. I would suggest you do it, in this part of the week before the holiday comes at the end, right? We do have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then everything is closed Thursday and Friday, and you all need a break, and I expect that, and that's great. You should have your break. So I don't want you doing this stuff over the holiday. Do it sooner. Do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday if you can. Of course, if you don't care or if it works out better for you, then feel free to do it later, and I'll just get back to you after the holiday. What we'll do is we'll finish up this essay next week, maybe like in the middle of the week, just because of the holiday. I want to make sure everyone has time off and that kind of thing. So I don't want to. We'll just carry it all over, finish it up next week, and then we'll go on to the next short little thing at the end of the semester. So, yeah, basically that's it. Short little assignment at the beginning of this week, ideally. Then we all have a break, and then we'll pick up and finish this stuff at the beginning of next week, and then we'll just talk about the last shorter assignment we're going to do after that, and then we'll get this semester finished up. So, moving right along here. That's it. I will look forward to seeing your questions, and I'll get back to you as soon as they come in. And that's it. Okay, talk to you later.